Hello, everyone. Welcome to Soundcheck, the podcast where you come to find other people's opinions on your favorite artists. My name is Frank Stockwell, and today we are introducing Paul Thomas. Paul Thomas is an 18-year-old majoring in business management. He enjoys listening to music and writing poems, where he explores his feelings and dives deep into his everyday life. He is here today to explore his knowledge of music and have a deep dive into making his poems and even share some. And hello, Paul. How's your day going?
Doing good, you?
Doing great. Would you like to introduce yourself to the people listening on who you are and what you do?
Hi, my name is Paul Thomas. I'm a current business major, and I write poetry for a living, exploring my emotions and everyday life.
Great. Now I have a couple questions I'm going to ask you.
What's
And
up?
are you good with that?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Is there any artist that inspired you to make these poems?
Variety of different artists. You know, I get inspired by to write different poems for. I don't really have a necessarily favorite, but I do listen to a variety of them because they're all versatile and I can blend well with all of them.
And who are those artists?
Justin Bieber, Chris Brown, s- James Arthur, um,
It's okay if you can't think of them.
um, that's three. So I think my final one would be Giveon.
Okay. What do you like writing about the most?
Love.
Yeah?
Yes.
Why do you like writing about that the most?
Because love is complicated. It's both dangerous and a beautiful thing to explore with someone, not just romantically, but in but just in general. Love is a I get to embrace love in different ways and show capacity to my friends and family and to my future lover. So yeah,
Okay. All right. That's a good answer. Is there a favorite poem that you've written?
The Garden of White Roses is a one that no one has read
Yeah.
or reading. I never shared it to anyone yet.
Why do you think it's your favorite poem you've ever written?
It goes deep on how I reflect on how this poem is I'm basically symbolizing a girl using white roses of like a meaning of how just admiring and just admiring her beautiness, her everything about her is just not everything is always perfect,
Yeah.
but it can always be a reflection of what she can be, and she's just a light, glooming light.
Sounds
My,
very interesting.
yeah.
Is there a poem that you've written that, most relates to you?
Um, a poem. Don't judge me. No one has read that one. I haven't shared. That's the one that hits closer to heart, and then one that I can tell that poem that does well, and numb. Those three hit the spot.
Why do you think you relate to them most? Were you like,
The
based off true events or,
Yes. So all those three poems are basically from true events.
mm,
Um, they don't judge me is more like a personal one, how I was feeling and what I was going through. The I can tell one was a sort of me in a situation where I didn't know what to do and how to confront this situation, but
mm-hmm.
I overcome it. The numb one was kind of like the I can tell poem, but it was kind of similar in a way because they both have the same meaning but different
Yeah.
um stability on how you can flex it out.
Okay. Is there a poem that you like was the most hard to write and that you struggled with?
Many.
Uh,
um Yellow
mm,
Tape was one.
yeah.
Yellow Tape was one. um I Actually Not to Hurt Me Softly, and Don't Judge Me, that one.
Why do you think they were hard? Was it hard like emotionally or was it like hard, coming up with words to like describe, your
coming up
problems?
Coming up with words because You want to make sure that whoever reads your poems, they can feel your emotion and see how they can relate to you and if they've gone through the same process.
Mm,
So
interesting. Now, is there like a poem that I don't know you've really enjoyed that like, really speaks to you?
Lady in the Glass Dress.
Yeah, what about it?
Lady in the Glass Dress is Lady in the Glass Dress basically shows a woman or a girl, however you want to put it. She's so beautiful and elegant on the outside, but
Mm,
inside she's just torn apart. Like she's just ready to give up on life, and you can literally see it. Like doesn't matter how pretty she seems, her eyes, and then she's just ready to give up on life. So I think that poem showed when people read that poem, people felt mostly girls, they felt they related to it because they see themselves into that what I've put in the poem.
like they could put themselves in her
Mhm.
shoes.
Yes, and like it's not just that poem was not basically talking about just one girl. I'm talking about for every
Mm,
girl who reads it and relates to it the most.
nice. Um, when talk about poems, that you're very descriptive in how you write it. Is there like anything that helps you with, being so descriptive and, being very creative in writing your poems?
Mostly the part is I want to make sure that when I'm writing a poem, I can actually like feel the emotion behind it.
Yeah.
Because there's some poems I actually shed a tear to. Because when I was writing it, because I want to feel the emotion and how I'm writing it, and I get asked all the time why my poems are so deep and why did I make my poem so deep. It's not just for my it's not just for me that's writing it while feeling the emotion. A lot of people go through stuff. People go through different emotions and challenges. So whenever people reads it, I want them to relate to it and say that that's a good poem right there. I can relate to it the most. So that's why I'm majorly why I write poems is not just for me to enjoy, but to see other people can live through it. Whatever I write, either it's love or just pain itself.
Great. I really like how you explain that. Thank you everybody for listening to this podcast. Right now, we're going to take a bit of a break, so enjoy the music. Welcome back. Paul, the way you've been describing your poems and really capturing everything you've written, is there a poem that you'd like to share or that, you think the audience should hear? I know you've talked a bit of a couple poems that you liked, so is there any specific poem you'd like to share?
The Garden of White Roses.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, Paul. Whenever you're ready, just read it out.
I step into the garden, and every white roses feel like a reflection of you, pure, untouchable, yet soft, enough to cradle a heart. The gaze we share stops my pulse, because you're so, you're so hard not to look at. Her presence turns the white roses into whispers, each petal leaning closer just to know her. Her voice drifts like velvet over the roses, her accent a melody, the garden never knew it needed. Even the air holds still, waiting for her sound to bloom again. I brush my hand across the stems, and it's as if the thorns whispered your strength, while the blossoms remind me that love can be fragile and eternal. The moonlight bends to find you, glowing brighter on your skin than on the roses themselves, as if even the night knows you're a masterpiece. You are the masterpiece. The garden was meant to frame. Her voice, wrapped in lilt of her accent, is one of kind symphony. The roses bend closer to hear. She's a book I never want to stop writing about.
Wow, I really like your writing.
Thank you.
I think everyone would enjoy this. And you post any of these poems? Is there any way anybody could hear these and or see these for themselves?
I post them on my Instagram.
That's good. Well, I'll make sure to tag in the description.
Yes,
And Paul, I want to say thank you for being on the podcast today.
no problem.
I really enjoyed and how you explained all about your poems and how you answered all the questions.
Thank you.
And everyone who's listening right now, it's Paul Thomas right here. But tune in for next week where we will be reviewing Tame Impala's new album, Deadbeat. We'll go track for track and give our honest thoughts on them. But anyways, everyone, have a good day.